अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, इल्म न्यूज़ की तरफ से दौरा फ़लस्तीन की किस्त नंबर 5 आपकी खिदमत में पेश की जा रही है, जिसमें वेस्टर्न वॉल और वो मुकाम जहां पर नबी अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने बुराक को बांधा था, और इसके अलावा फ़लस्तीन और इसराइल के अंदरूनी हालात बताए जाएंगे। पहली किस्त में तारीख़ फ़लस्तीन, दूसरी किस्त में मस्जिद अक्सा और टॉम ऑफ दी रॉक के बारे में बताया गया, और तीसरी किस्त में हज़रत दाऊद अलैहिस्सलाम और हज़रत ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम के बारे में ज़िक्र किया गया। तो चौथी किस्त में हज़रत उमर फ़ारूक रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हो के बारे में और सुल्तान सलाहुद्दीन अय्यूबी के बारे में बात की गई।
पूरे का पूरा शहर आर्चों पे बना हुआ है। हर रिंग वॉल की तरफ जा रहे हैं।
वेस्टर्न वॉल ये वो दीवार है जहाँ पर यहूदी इबादत करते हैं। इसी दीवार के दूसरी जानिब मस्जिद अक्सा के अंदर नबी अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जब मेराज पर जा रहे थे तो बुराक को बांधा। यहूदियों के नज़रिए के मुताबिक हैकल सुलेमानी को जब गिराया गया तो उनकी निशानियों में से ये आखिरी दीवार बची है, जिसको उन्होंने तामीर नहीं किया, बल्कि उसी तरीके से इस दीवार की पूजा करते आ रहे हैं।
Rasulullah had left his burak, outside his burak, behind that wall, where we have the masjid that you visit tomorrow, inshallah. So the wall actually is Masjid al-Aqsa Western and retaining wall, and it's Muslim wall, and it is called also Ha'it Burak Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or Ha'it al-Burak Sharif. Now for the Jews, from Jewish point of view, that wall is the western and retaining wall of the second temple. They claim that the temple was here and the temple was destroyed. The only wall which is left from that time of the temple is the wall that you see over there, the Wailing Wall or the Western Wall. So people go to pray in front of the wall 3 times a day. Women have the right side and men have the left side over there. They face the wall because they believe that the Messiah will come behind a wall. He will come from east and he will build his temple on the side of the masjid. So one of the gates of Masjid al-Aqsa is called Morocco Gate, the gate that we don't see now, where you see the bridge now beneath that window. And one of the city walls is called the Morocco Gate because of the Moroccan Muslims who had lived here until 67. So Jews go to pray over there. So on Saturday they pray 5 times, 5 prayers. They have 5 prayers on Saturday, but in the week they have 3 prayers a day. And you know, they pray separately, men from the women, in front of that wall there.
वेस्टर्न वॉल की तरफ से मस्जिद अक्सा की तरफ कुछ खुदाई की जा रही है, न जाने उसका मकसद क्या है। इस दरवाजे के दाईं तरफ एक दरवाज़ा है जो यहूदियों के पास है और उन्होंने बंद किया हुआ है, और वहीं पर वो मुकाम है जहाँ पर नबी अकरम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने अपने बुराक को बांधा था।
We have very holy masjid there called Bayt al-Lahm Masjid. This city is occupied by Israel since 1967 there. You know, until then, the city was under the Jordanians. By the way, this is why you see people of the city have Jordanian passports and Israeli IDs. Why Jordanians? Because Jordan had controlled this region, which is called West Bank, including Bayt al-Maqdis. And this is why people have Jordanian passports. Jerusalem, Nazareth, and Bayt al-Lahm. You know that Bayt al-Maqdis, Al-Quds there, is about 6,000 years old now, one of the oldest cities in the country. The city had been conquered by the Babylonians, Israelites, Babylonians, Jews, Romans, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and the city was Muslim for the last 1400 years, until the Turks left the city in 1917. And then the city, together with the country, was under the British, because the British had ruled the country for 30 years until 1948. Now, a year before the war 48 there, we Palestinians have the right for a state in Palestine, and the Israelis have another right for another state called the State of Israel. Now look to the left there, those are 4-star hotels built by Israel. Many hotels were founded in West Jerusalem because you are actually in between East and West Jerusalem. Those hotels are many. They were founded in the past 50 years by Israel. But you know, Israel didn't allow us to build any new hotel. Our hotels actually are from the Jordanian period. And some hotels were built actually under the British. So we have new modern hotels, neither 4 or 5-star hotels. But Israel had built 4 and 5-star hotels in East and West Jerusalem there. This is where we had a big wall. The wall was built in between East and West Jerusalem because our city was divided city. between 1948 and 1967. Now along that wall we had, which was called the No Man's Land. No Man's Land. Now the wall has been demolished together with the No Man's Land, and instead of that wall they have actually road number 1 where we are now. And that road, number 1 road, goes in the city north-south, south-north. And the city actually is united. So the people in East Jerusalem on your left, right, on your left there, can go into the West Jerusalem, and the people of West Jerusalem can come to East. The city is actually considered to be as one big city, and it has been declared as the capital of the state of Israel. Now, in other words, the people who live to the left there are Palestinian Muslims, and the people who live on the right there are Israeli Jews, Israelis. Now, many of those people who live in those homes are North African Jews, because in Israel about 1.2 million North African Jews live there. Many of those people came from Morocco, because they have been transferred in the year 50, 51, 52 from Morocco. We have also the Arabs. Some of the Jews they came from Arab countries, like for example, Iraq, Yemen, and Egypt. So there are about 2 million. And many of those people actually are Iraqi Jews. So many of those people don't speak Hebrew, they speak Arabic. Because the official language in Israel, as you know, is Hebrew. Now some Jews speak Arabic and many Arabs speak Hebrew, especially the Israeli Arabs. You know, have you heard about the Israeli Arabs there? The Israeli Arabs are the Arabs who live in the state of Israel. Now we call them the Palestinian Israeli Arabs because they were born in the country before the state was born. I mean, their grandfathers, and they became Jews. They became Israelis because they have Israeli citizenship there. But they are Muslims or Christians. The Christians are not many. They are about 170,000. But the Palestinian Muslims are about 1.8 million. So they live in cities, villages, and towns, which is called Israel. By the way, the walls that you see on the left there are Turkish Ottoman walls, 471 years old now. And on the walls we have 8 different gates. One of the gates is the one that you see ahead there, called Jaffa. And some people call that Nabiullah Ibrahim's gate, or Al-Khalil's gate. Al-Khalil is Nabiullah Ibrahim. And we see that gate up on the left there. To the left, that gate called Jaffa, or Al-Khalil's gate, we have that tower, which is called Beit al-Maqdis Tower. And some people call that Nabiullah Dawood's Tower. Now that tower is Turkish Ottoman Tower, with a minaret on top there, built by Suleiman al-Qanuni, Suleiman the Magnificent, in the 16th century AD. The walls are 2.5 miles long, 4 kilometers long. We have 32 different towers on the walls, but the biggest and the oldest is this one. Inside the tower, the Israelis have which is called the Museum of the History of Jerusalem, and they have models of the city from different periods. And during summer, they have which is called Sound and Light Show. Sound and Light Show in 4 languages. Khalilullah. And in our Quran it's mentioned, وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. So he was Khalilullah. And this is why we go to the city of Al-Khalil. That city has been expanded in the past 50 years. So its population is about 750,000. And many neighborhoods have been founded. And also settlements were founded in both sides of the city, east and west there. And this is why Jerusalem became actually one of the 3 biggest cities in the country. The other 2 biggest cities are Tel Aviv and Haifa. Have you heard about that? Haifa. Tel Aviv actually is about 50 miles, 48 miles northwest of Jerusalem, and it was the capital of the state of Israel until 1967 there. And that city was founded in 1909, next to an Arab city called Jaffa. Now Jaffa is 5,000 years old now as an Arab city, but Tel Aviv is modern city from the year 1909. Now the Israelis moved their capital to Jerusalem, but you know, all the different countries, including the United States, consider Tel Aviv as the capital of the state. This is why all the embassies of those countries are in Tel Aviv. And the consulates are in Jerusalem. Each country has 2 consulates in East and West Jerusalem. West Jerusalem is about 155 years old now, but the other side of the city is about 6,000 years old now. This is why that city is called the New Jerusalem, and the other city is called East Jerusalem, or the Old City of Jerusalem. I see Masjid Nabi Dawood from here now. Yes, we call that Wadi Jahannam. So we call that Wadi Jahannam. So we have Wadi Hisab. Why? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in Hadith Nabawi Sharif, Bayt al-Maqdis, Ard al-Mahshar wal-Ma'shar, tuhu fasallu fi, Sadaqa Rasulullah. So we understand from that we are advised by Rasulullah to come Bayt al-Maqdis, to be in the city of al-Mahshar wal-Manshar. Now you are actually in West Jerusalem. This is the other side of the city. Now, from now on, we travel past new, very old homes. Those homes were ours until we lost them during 48 war. So they are actually, some are from the 18th and the others are from 19th century AD. So we leave them there because the Muslims in this city have been expelled from their homes during 48 war. Because this city was Muslim until 48. But actually it is Jewish Israeli city. And Arabs have no right to live in the city, but they can work in the city. And this is why this city is totally Israeli Jewish city. So I point out to you some homes which have been left from that city where the Arabs had lived until 1948. When I say Arabs, I mean Muslim Arabs or Christian Arabs, but you know, many of them were Muslims at that time. Now we can see the old homes because their homes don't exist anymore, because their homes have been demolished and Israel doesn't allow anyone to go back. So we have sandstones, limestones, volcanic stones. Now marble is imported. So we imported marble in the past from Turkey, from Syria, Egypt, Italy and Greece. So for example, in the Masjid al-Aqsa al-Mubarak we have beautiful marble columns which have been imported from Carrara. We call that marble, Carrara marble. And then some columns have been imported from Tunisia because they are the copies of the old columns which have been cracked by the heat. Most of the Jews who live in this region are new immigrants. They came to the state of Israel as immigrants, and many of them were not born here. You know, because until the year beginning of 19th century AD, almost 6,000 Jews had lived in the country, 6,000. And now they are about 6 million, 5.7 million Jews live in the state of Israel. The grandsons have the keys of their grandfathers, so they left with nothing on their hands except the keys because they have.
नाजरीन, आप देखते रहें इल्म न्यूज़ और इंशाल्लाह हम आपको मज़ीद इसराइल के बारे में और फ़लस्तीन के बारे में बताएंगे।